Okay, so this is going to be a very quick video on the Chupito and these magnetic wing connectors that I put together for it. As much as these things work amazingly well, and you don't need to worry about servo wires and all that sort of stuff, and it just makes this nice satisfying click, you do need to use the O-ring. Don't rely on the magnetic holders to actually hold the wing in place. And if you're launching from wingtip, you may actually have a bit of disengagement. So keep that in mind. I launch from the inner wing and that seems to do the trick quite nicely. I think I've got a video up there somewhere showing the launch. I might actually pop it in this video anyway so you can see exactly how we launch it. Graeme, one of our friends, actually did the first launch ever on this wing for us and it worked beautifully.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the parts you're going to want to print. These bits that go on the wing actually need supports, and the supports are already in the file and they should come off relatively easily. This kind of gives you an idea. So there's not much in the way of cleanup, and if there's a little bit of roughness there, it's probably worthwhile because it'll just glue in better. Now there's two types of these you can actually print. These ones which don't require any press nuts, and you can print the ones with press nuts. Now I printed mine with press nuts only because I was planning on taking it apart, removing it and playing around with it because I wasn't sure how it was all going to play out. But obviously the press nut version is going to last a lot longer and you shouldn't have any issues. But if you don't want to use the press nuts, you don't have to. Now, the types of press nuts that I'm using, let me how good I can get this close to the... Okay, so these are the press nuts that I'm using. They're not the ones designed for 3D printing, so keep that in mind. But the upside with these is they're really tiny and they're light. And it's not really holding much other than those magnetic connectors, so not a big deal. Now, as far as the connectors go, these are the ones I've actually purchased. There will be a link in the description. And these are obviously magnetic, and these are spring-loaded here. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but they're spring-loaded. And the key thing to keep in mind is it has a marker on this side and a marker on that side. So these will only go together in the one direction. So it's just something you have to keep in mind. They will not go together in this direction. So if you happen to glue these in the wrong way or secure them in the wrong way in your 3D printed parts, you're kind of in a little bit of strife. I suppose it's not the end of the world. You could always just unscrew them and turn them around, but just something to keep in mind. Otherwise, the wings will not connect. Now, as far as soldering on these, I would recommend I'm using a portable soldering iron, not a Hakko. And the reason I'm doing that is these magnets tend to draw the soldering iron towards it, and they can be a little bit of a pain to solder up. So keep that in mind. Soldering these isn't easy, but it is doable. If you've got a battery operated soldering iron, that's going to work a lot better than a proper desktop iron. So keep that in mind. Now, as far as templates go, these are the ones I'm actually using. So that'll kind of go in place like so. And what you'll do is basically with a sharp blade, slice through there, and then you'll be able to slice away this section of the foam, and that'll give you a perfect location. Once you've done that, you're going to go in with one of these, and this will go, I can't obviously put them on, but once it goes in there, you'll use a really sharp blade to cut the insert out so this can slide in. Hopefully that makes some degree of sense. This is the glue that I'm using. It was called Yoo-Hoo-Pour, but I don't think Yoo-Hoo-Pour is actually made anymore, but you want the polystyrene version that'll do foams and stuff like that. So any sort of foam safe glue, something like this is really good because it's very rubbery and sticky, so it does a really good job. That's what I use. So obviously before you install all this, you're gonna have to get all your wiring right and have a cut out there for the servo wire to go through, and then cut it to length and leave a little bit of slack there. So if you do unscrew this, you can actually remove it. It just makes it a little bit easier. So what you'll need to do is do the cutouts internally so you can actually route the wires through. You'll solder it outside, and then what you'll do is then basically screw it back in place and it should be good to go. Now, once you've got your wing completed, the next step is going to be doing the cutout at the fuselage end. And the best way I found to do that was, firstly, install this fella in. This is the opposite end, if I get that right. Which way does this go? Okay, that goes in that way. That is correct. Now I haven't screwed this in place, but you can see what that looks like. And that will locate perfectly here. So then what you want to do is do the cutout in the wing, and you want to get the cutout to such a stage that you can just slide this wing in, and it should slide into place nice and firmly without this sort of pulling to one side or anything. So once you've got that done, what you'll want to do then is glue this in place, and you'll do it the same way as I've done it here. You'll actually fasten this on so it's secure. Once you're happy that that's secure, you'll put the glue around it, ensuring this is already glued and dried. That goes in here, slides all the way in, and then just let it set. Once it dries, you'll need to unscrew this fella again, pull him out, and then route the wiring through, and then solder it in place. Once you've done that, pretty much your wing should be good to go. Like I said, make sure, this will make a nice click, and that's in place now. The magnet's actually holding it, but you have to use this, so don't try and rely on the magnets, otherwise you'll be you'll have one of those Chupitos that is in a million pieces like some people have online. But there you go, that's all there is to it. That should be relatively easy to do. It doesn't take long to do, only worthwhile if you are planning on taking your wings on and off for transport. But I mean, keep in mind, if you're not going to be traveling anywhere with your Chupito, it's probably not worth it. I'd probably go down the path of just having the servo wires in there. But I do plan on taking this away with me, so I can fly it when I go interstate and things along those lines. Anyway, hope this video was useful. Any comments and questions down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And links for these connectors are in the description.